Hello there, welcome. Here's another film for Halloween. This one is called Murder Party. Now, this is more of a comedy than a horror movie. I mean, it takes some horror cliches, plays around with them, but it's never really scary. It's never, I don't think it's really attempting to ever be scary. It's basically a comedic situation that with horror undertones, but it's always going to joke rather than any real scares. It was directed by Jeremy Saulnier, who did the Green Room and Blue Ruin. So I probably messed his name up because I'm terrible with names. So that's who directed. This is his first film. This is when he did maybe no money, so the camera work looks very rough and shoddy because he's working with equipment that's probably less good than he would like. But they use this to their advantage by embracing the grunge and using that aesthetic to actually, support the film. So they get a project that works with their limited means. So the idea of basically is this guy is walking home when an invitation is blown down the street and hits his foot, so he picks it up to a murder party. So he just wonders what that is. He goes home and he's a bit of a sad sack. He just gets cat. The cat doesn't respect him at all. He's just stuck in this house and nothing's going well for him. So he decides, I'm going to go to this murder party because it's better than sitting in the house watching some cheesy DVDs he's got. So he uses the cardboard for various boxes to make himself look like a knight, and he travels through New York to get to this one location for the murder party. Of course, the murder party isn't a party, it's whoever shows up they're going to kill. So that could be a really scary situation, but the characters who are going to do the murdering are incompetent. They are just clueless. They are arty people. For them this is an art show. They have no idea the consequences of their actions. To them it's all about art, and they're all trying to get a grant from this pretentious guy called Alexander who turns up about a third of the way through the film, and they're all trying to impress him. Now the guy's an obvious fraud, and they play up. They let you know well enough that the guy's probably a fraud, and then eventually gets confirmed. But you always know he's a fraud, and they're deluding themselves. So you get a series of characters. One who plays a video game all the time, and he's a bit of a psychopath. One who this woman who's dressed like Press from Blade Runner, and who's a pretentious artist who's very insecure about her work, but she wants to kill the guy because he's a white man. He's a male. There's a overweight guy with a beard who's in love with her, and then there's this insecure guy who doesn't think he's very good and who's the most forgettable of the bunch. But that's the joke, is people forget about him even when he's there. He's just so forgettable. And he knows he is, and it's like, and he really has to try hard. He does all these photographs and things, and he's really trying too hard to make himself look unique when he's just not. They're all like that. I mean, his problems, they're all problems. They all think they're better than they are, but they all know they're not as good as they think they are. And all some part of them all know that this guy they're trying to impress is probably a fake. So that's the basic setup, and as the film goes on, this meek guy who's going to be the murder victim is trying to get out of it, but he's not trying too hard. He's just so meek that he can't do it. So basically they start hurting themselves, and people die in funny ways in this film, but it's never the way anyone intended for anything to go wrong. Nothing works the way it was intended. And it's an obvious joke. I mean, the joke is that, they're incompetent. It's just watching this mechanism of their failure, slowly turn on to the people who are going to do the murder. I mean, it reminds me a lot of a John Waters film called Pecker, but it's not as good. Pecker was about this kid who took photographs of the area surrounding himself, and he becomes this art darling, even though he doesn't really want to be. In this film, it's people who are trying to be the art darlings, and they'll go to any length to try and get there. But again, it's also a satire in that, as Pecker was, but Pecker was a better film, This one is trying too hard at times. I mean, it's like its premise is pretty strong, but it kind of runs out of gas halfway through for a little bit, as it's like it starts to go through the motions slightly, and then it gears up towards the end and start to make it horror conventions in that world with a lot more violence. But it takes after a while, you got the novelty of the problem, and then it starts to grind its wheels slightly for a little bit, then it takes off again. But despite that, I mean, it's a first film. You expect that from first films. It's still a very good novelty film. It's still a good, solid debut. I mean, it's the acting are by newcomers who didn't do much before, and most of them haven't done much after it. It's decent. I mean, it's not great, but it's decent. So everyone's enthusiastic. Everyone's trying hard. The deaths are great and funny. Some of the revelations about what the characters are not unexpected, but they are quite nice to see them really go for it. Some people get very brutalised by the end, and the payoff's quite nice as well. So it's one of those films I'd say definitely try and see it if you can. But you know, going with lower expectations, it's not a work of genius, it's not a first work of genius event. It's an early film, you know, from someone still learning the ropes and who will probably get better. I've not actually seen these other films yet. They're on my to watch list at some point, but this one shows a lot of talent with not much money. So it's a nice little film. It's you probably get this cheap on Amazon. I got it very cheap, so it won't cost you much to give it a shot. So I would definitely say give it a shot, especially in Halloween. It takes place in Halloween. It's a nice little nasty look at that world you can enjoy during the Halloween period, especially if you've ever had to deal with any pretentious prats, which if you ever go into the arts, you will deal with. It's just a good little send up. I mean, I kind of feel the director and the people involved had dealt with these kind of people before and were pretty sick of them, as well as there was also an affection for their insecurities. So it wasn't totally cruel. I mean, there was humanity behind it, but there's also an acknowledgement of the pretensions of art and pretensions of art, filmmaking, whatever. So it's a send up of themselves in some way. But anyway, that's this over. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be back soon with Monkey Shines.